Welcome back to Make It with Mod Podge. My name's Cathie and today I've got 3 fashion DIYs to share with you, all in a little bit of a Valentine theme. I've got this adorable hoodie I'm making, plus some cool simple earrings using fabric, and I have an idea for a no-sew hairbow. They are so trendy and popular right now. All right, let's get started. We're gonna start with our earrings. I'm using wood earring blanks and matte Mod Podge. You can see that I'm cutting my fabric larger than my wood earring blank, and that's because we're going to apply our fabric to the earring before we cut out the shape. I just find that's a lot easier. So I'm using the matte Mod Podge. This works great with the wood to fabric. So I'm putting a nice thick coat on my earring, and then I'm going to place my fabric right on top of that earring. I'm pressing firmly, and then I'm going to let that completely dry. Make sure you get those edges really good. You can see what that looks like. And now we're going to let that dry, and once it's dry, I go around with some sharp scissors, and I'm going to cut around that outer edge, removing all of the extra fabric. You could do this opposite if you wanted to cut the shape out and Mod Podge that down, but I find that this technique gets a very clean edge. So go ahead and cut around that. And of course, I'm doing this to both earrings. Using a toothpick to poke the hole through the top of the earring. And this will be where we attach our jump ring and our ear wire. To seal it, I'm using matte Mod Podge. And I'm just going to do a nice thin coat over the entire earring, making sure I really get those edges. To finish these off, you could paint the backside. I'm leaving it the neutral wood, but you could finish it off in lots of different ways. So we're gonna go ahead and top coat that, and of course do that to both earrings. It looks milky right now, but it's gonna dry perfectly clear. Now around that edge, I want to add some flat back pearls. I'm using the Mod Podge detail brushes just to add Mod Podge around the outer edge. And then I'm using my grease pencil to pick up gems and place them right into that Mod Podge. So I did 2 different sizes. I've got some little pearls at the top because that's where I've got the hole and I need to be able to get my jump ring through there. And then I'm using a neck size up around the rest of the earring. Once that's dry, go ahead and add your jump ring and your ear wire to complete your earring look. These turn out so cute. I love this fabric for these earrings. Okay, next up, we're gonna do our hoodie. This is so simple. You're gonna start with a washed hoodie and a washed fabric for best results. And I'm gonna go ahead and cut out these rose motifs. I'm using those same sharp detailed scissors to really get around there to really cut out that design. So for this, I'm doing a heart shape. I just traced that onto my shirt. And that's just the old elementary school heart where you fold the paper in half. Now for this, I'm using fabric Mod Podge. This is a fabric to fabric formula. It is hand washable, and I'm applying that to the back of the fabric. And then I'm going to place my flowers around that lined heart just to create a outside edge of the heart shape done in the roses. So you can see I'm layering them up onto each other to really try to make those rose flower shapes. Going around that edge, creating that really pretty heart. Now, once your design is completely down, you're gonna let that dry for a few hours, and then you're going to top coat it with the fabric Mod Podge. And for this, I like to go in with another one of those Mod Podge detail brushes, and I'm painting all of that fabric Mod Podge right on top of the fabric. I'm gonna do that 2 or 3 times so that that's really secure, and look how cute this turns out. All right, let's do that no-sew hairbow. I'm using a hair clip and fabric Mod Podge. I'm cutting a piece of fabric 16 inches by about 5 inches, and I'm going to protect my work surface with some wax paper. We're going ahead and adding the fabric Mod Podge to the back of that fabric. I'm gonna do the entire piece and then fold that in half. And I'm gonna let that dry for a couple of hours. Once it's dry, I'm gonna trim up the edges to create a really cute look on those. And for that, I'm using some wave scissors. You could also use pinking shears. And for this, I'm gonna be cutting my fabric down to about a 2-inch wide strip. And I'm gonna do that decorative cut on both sides. Look how cute that edge is. I just love that little curvy, wavy edge. All right, let's fold that in half, and then we're gonna trim up our ends on an angle. So just go ahead and cut an angle right there. And then we're gonna fold over our pieces with our left side overlapping the right side. Scrunch it in the center, and I'm gonna temporarily hold it together just using a small rubber band. Some people like to use a zip tie here, or they sew a little thread. The rubber band works fine for me. We're gonna be gluing this to our hair clip, so you're not gonna see that rubber band. So now that the bow is all formed, you're ready to attach it to your clip. And for that, I'm gonna use hot glue. You could use any glue of your choice. This is just to hold it to the clip temporarily before we get that center piece down. So let's glue that to the clip. And then we're going to go ahead and take a strip of the extra fabric, glue that to the back side to start, wrap it around, and then tuck it under the barrette and use a little bit more hot glue to secure that down. Then you'll just trim away any of the extra. If you want to add extra little bling or fun to your bow, you can do some lightweight accessories. Here, I'm just adding a little gem heart in the center. Look how sweet that turns out. So cute for Valentine's. Thanks so much for joining me today. I hope that these 3 DIYs have inspired you to try a Valentine project of your own. I'll be back here next week with another fun project to share with you. And until then, have a super crafty week. Bye.